Has it ever occurred to you that our kind of work is rather like shooting a film? This is said by Kerim Bey, the Turkish but half English fixer in Istanbul for British intelligence in From Russia with Love. By 1957, Ian Fleming was looking ahead to movies. Casino Royale had been on American television in 1954. Deals for more of Bond on CBS TV fell through, but Dr. No would hit the big screen in 1962. From Russia with Love was the second of what are regarded as the canonical Bond movies and the fifth of the books written by Ian Fleming. Here are three differences between the book and the movie. Number one, the Russians are present in the movie, but they're not as involved. The book is a Cold War story, and the first third takes place mainly in Moscow. It paints a detailed picture of a Russian intelligence service called SMERSH, which is charged with killing spies and internal traitors. They decide to kill Bond, and there's great detail as to why. Bond himself only enters the story after this section. SMERSH shows up in the movie, but the real evil comes from Spectre, led by a man who talks while petting a cat, who was parodied to great effect in Austin Powers. Spectre plays the Russians and British against each other, which makes for a much weaker story. Number two, Kerim Bey is not British. Kerim is played by Pedro Armendáriz Hastings, who grew up in the US and Mexico and went on to become a movie star in both countries. He was a native speaker of English and Spanish, but it was clearly American English. Kerim's backstory is not mentioned in the movie. Number three, other than Istanbul and London, the locations are different. The book puts Bond and Romanova on the Orient Express. The book ends in France, and Bond isn't completely out of trouble. In the movie, they get off the train, which leads to a chase on land, which copies North by Northwest and has Bond drive a Chevy truck, before they move to boats. Venice is shown twice in the movie. First as the site of a chess tournament that was in Russia in the book, and again at the end when Bond is out of trouble and relaxed. Beyond these differences, the book and the movie have some product placement, but they don't run it into the ground as the movies would later. You can see Sean Connery's Walther PPK, but no one stops to point it out. In the book, Bond shoots a Beretta 25 caliber, which is nearly obsolete nowadays. Did you read the book and see the movie? What differences did you notice? Let us know in the comments.